Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I want to show you the newest addition I'm making to the Tacoma, and that is the Garmin Dashcam Mini 2. Obviously, there are many reasons why you would want a dash camera today, whether it would be to fight traffic tickets, record an accident, or any other incident while you're driving. The thing that drew me to the Garmin Dashcam Mini 2 was how discreet it was as a camera. To put it in perspective, this is the key fob to my Toyota Tacoma, and it's actually even a little bit bigger than the camera itself. So the benefit of the discrete size is that it makes the interior of my vehicle look cleaner, as well as I believe it's going to reduce the likelihood of any type of theft since it's much less likely to be seen. Fortunately, Dognar Technologies makes a very nice adapter that actually goes to your rear view camera and gives you a USB port, which allows you to use a very small 6-inch USB cable rather than having to wire all around your car and use one of your 12-volt DC outlets in order to power the camera. One thing to note about the dognar cable is that if you do use this, you will not have the ability to use the parking guard feature. If that's something that's important to you, you may want to consider wiring it to the battery, that way you do have parking guard. Since I'm only using it for driving, this is completely adequate. Now when it comes to the camera, it's very simplistic in nature, so for people that don't want to have to mess around too much with settings or anything, this may be something that interests you. All you have to have is a micro SD card. I prefer to use a class 10 32GB to make sure I have plenty of data to record any incidents. Now all you're going to do is push it in, and once that's in, we're going to plug it into a micro USB source in order to power the camera on. And on the back, we will have a green light, a beep, and the camera is on. Now there's no way to turn this beep off. However, it is a good indicator to tell you when the camera is on or off when you initially start the vehicle. Now on this device, you have two buttons. The first one is going to be your mute button on the side, and when you click it and it turns red, it is recording audio. But when you turn it off, it is no longer recording audio and it is muted. You also have the save button. This is to save an incident while you're driving, and it can save up to a certain amount back, so you have playback. I have mine set for 10 seconds, but you can set it all the way back to 30 seconds before you hit the save button. But when you do this, it's going to save this file permanently rather than put it into the retainer of the memory card that allows it to be deleted later. As mentioned, the installation is quite simple. You have this 12-pin connector right here, and all we're going to do is push the pin, pull it out, put our new dognar in, then want to take our USB cable, and it'll be easier without this 12-pin connector in, place it in the back, then place the old 12-pin behind it, and that connection should be ready. Now that we have the camera, we simply want to find a place on our windshield that we like, remove the plastic, place it, and we will adjust it in a minute, and plug in our micro USB cable. And now we turn the car on, it should turn on the camera. Which it rightfully did. With the camera setup complete, all you have to do now is readjust your rear view mirror, and now you can't even see the camera. Now the reason I put it on the driver's side is if I need to see the camera or I need to press the save button, I can do so quickly, and fortunately with that audible beep, I'll always know if it's on whenever I start the car and that it turns off when the car is stopped. You will need the Garmin app in order to control the Dashcam Mini, but you're just going to go into settings, and the first thing you see is quality. You get the choice between 1080p and 720. You want 1080p, that's a better quality and resolution. You then have data overlay, which will tell you time and date, which of course is important for any incident. Your sensitivity setting is just how much sensitivity there is in the camera. I like to have it on high to make sure I record anything that I might need to. With your exposure value, -2 is low, +2 is high.
Go with -1, that's going to drop down a little bit on those bright spots in your video, make everything a lot easier to see. Now the final major thing is going to be what you want to do with your data, and that's going to delete when full, or you manually delete it. Set it to where you can delete on full.
One of the drawbacks to the Dashcam Mini 2 is that it only shoots in 1080p quality. This is a reduction in resolution compared to 4K, which may make it more difficult to see license plates or anything of that nature if need be. But for comparison's sake, I want to compare the Dashcam Mini 2 footage to that of a GoPro Hero 8 set in 1080p. Here's the audio with the Dashcam Mini 2. This is a recording of the audio with the GoPro Hero 8. The Garmin provides excellent picture quality. You can easily see road markings, signs, as well as lights. Now, especially when you're coming to intersections like this, you want a wide view that gives you the entire picture. And as you can see from this white pickup in stills, you have a higher shutter rate, which allows you to get a better picture of the vehicle in question. The GoPro, on the other hand, has better saturation, but a slower shutter. This is going to give you better motion blur, which isn't beneficial and may make it more difficult to identify a particular vehicle. With neither one, you're not going to be able to see a license plate all that well. Now, when it comes to evening settings, the Garmin certainly still has a reasonable picture portfolio. You are able to identify road markings, however you can see there are odd fluctuations here or there, but lights are easily visible as well as vehicles on the road. The Garmin, on the other hand, is going to have much more saturation, and once again you're going to get much more motion blur the later that it gets. This is great for obviously sunsets, but not nearly as good when it comes to the road. At night, the Garmin performed excellently, allowing you pretty good visibility with the camera overall, even when you don't have that great of headlights, as I do not with my Tacoma. The Garmin, on the other hand, is going to be very, very dark, especially depending on your ISO and what you have that set out. You're also going to get an odd flicker, but that's going to depend on your frame rate setting on your camera. Now for the last comparison, I wanted to look at what it would be like with my LEDs, and once I turn them on, I do get a little bit more distance as far as being able to see with the Garmin, but nothing too spectacular. This is just for me to see. Now the GoPro, on the other hand, does make a significant difference. However, I still think you can see farther on the Garmin camera at night, even with LEDs. Hopefully this overview gave you a little information on the Dashcam Mini 2. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to share, like, subscribe for more, and thanks for watching.